trailed by 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep that night till the morning came around. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Ran into the devil, baby, loaned me 20 bills. Spent the night in Utah in a cave up in the hills. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. I ran down to the levee, but the devil caught me there. Took my $20 bill and it vanished in the air. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Got two reasons why I cry away each lonely night. The first one's named Sweet Anne Marie, and she's my heart's delight. Second one is prison baby, the sheriff's on my trail. And if he catches up with me, I'll spend my life in jail. Got a wife in Chino, baby, and one in Cherokee. First one says she got my child, but it don't look like me. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Up with me, I'll spend my life in jail. Got a wife in Chino, baby, and one in Cherokee. First one says she got my child, but it don't look like it. I set out running, but I took my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. But then if you're so smart, tell me, why are you still so afraid? Where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You got so much to do and only so many hours in a day. Hey, the truth is told, that you can get what you want, or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? Slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you wanna be before your time. Although it's so romantic on the borderline tonight. Too bad, but it's the life you lead. You're so ahead of yourself that you forgot what you need. Though you could see when you're wrong, you know you can't always see when you're right. You're right. You got your passion, you got your pride, but don't you know that only fools are satisfied? Dream on, but don't imagine they'll all come true. Ooh, when will you realize realize Vienna waits for you. Child, and take the phone off the hook and disappear for a while. It's alright, you can't afford to lose a day or two. Oh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? And you know that when the truth is told, that you can get what you want, or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, why don't you realize Vienna waits for you? When will you realize Vienna waits for you?
Took a look down a westbound road, right away I made my choice. Headed out to my big two-wheeler, I was tired of my own voice. Took a beat on the northern plains and just rolled that power on. "12 hours out of Mackinac City, stopped in a bar to have a brew. Met a girl and we had a few drinks, and I told her what I decided to do. She looked out the window a long, long moment, then she looked into my eyes. She didn't have to say a thing. I knew what she was thinking. Roll me away, won't you roll me away tonight? I too am lost, I feel double-crossed, now I'm sick of what's wrong and what's right. We never even said a word, we just walked out and got on that bank. And we rolled. And we rolled clean out of sight. Mr. Home, I had it all along. Alone on a mountaintop, staring out at the Great Divide. I could go east, I could go west, it was all up to me to decide. Just then I saw a young hawk flying and my soul began to rise. And pretty soon my heart was
your head. The first thing you do when you get up out of bed is hit that streets a running and try to beat the masses. Go get yourself some cheap sunglasses. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Spied a little thing and I followed her. Good all
Lord.
night.
That was some music. All right, let me get the. I'll get the music. I will get la music, and we'll get rolling in about 9 minutes. Do I have something to show on the screen?
You are sharing the screen, it looks like. Trade exchange, trade alert, and
Oh, nope. Wrong
Nope.
screen. All right.
guys, let us know in the chat if it's your first time. Really need to talk about my music. Is this anyone's first time being here?
There must be some kind of way out of here. Said a joker to the thief. There's too much.
Can y'all hear the music?
You are all good.
I need a slide. I need a link, like the cover link.
Oh yeah, I'll get you that link in a second.
Well, thank you, thank you. Until then. Oh, Lord. Until I get the official deck.
Wonderful.
Hello, hello. Oh, I don't know what I clicked on. Oh, I had music. Here we go. Oh no! Things. Here we go.
The biggest icon in wrestling.
We will get rolling in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We will get rolling.
The biggest icon in wrestling.
minutes, 3 minutes.
Biggest icon in wrestling.
All right, let me get the chat here.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
All right, we got about 60 seconds.
And how you play it, all about control.
So let's get to it. So finally, after 8 months, well, about 8 months, 8.5 months, we finally have it complete. So let's go ahead and get to the markets. We got everyone here in the chat. Welcome, welcome. We get the background music a little low. If you have any questions out there, feel free to post in the chat. We got a whole team answering questions and all that good stuff. We got some big trades to go over. Had a big trade in DraftKings this morning, and a little bit of a repeat flow in DraftKings. We'll go over. Well, let's get to it, shall we? You got your torch and cigar. Very nice. Nike taking off. Yes. DKO. Yes. Trade of the year. All right, but let's get rolling here. We are going to start right at 3, and it is 3 p.m. Oh, look, we have a few different decks. Oh my God. Look at this. Wow. I apparently have the same picture in all the decks. All right. I think they gave me the wrong deck.
Oh, I just sent you one.
Okay. And we have an announcement that Stonkamania has signed the largest contract in FinPub history. Bigger than Kramer, bigger than Charles Payne, bigger than the Ponytail Bros, bigger than the Shark Tank, bigger than Kevin O'Leary. Got a nice Rolex there too. So be on the lookout for Stonkamania making more appearances upcoming. All right. Let's turn off the music like Deborah says, and we will stop with Benny and the Jets because we got Penny in the options. So let's go over the biggest flow of the day, and then we'll get to the penny option scanner, and we'll do some live trading out there with it. So a lot of good stuff today, mostly DraftKings, big pop at the open. Hope everyone was able to cash out of that big trade, but a trade that is sticking out like a sore thumb right now, and we'll go over DraftKings here in a minute, is Nike. Nike. Why Nike? Well, what happened in Starbucks the other day? What happened in Miss Starbucks? Starbucks, everyone getting their coffee. What happened? New CEO, activist Elliott Management, who is the best hedge fund at front running in the options market, right? No doubt about it. Well, Nike had some activist chatter today, about 30 minutes into the opening bell. And what does Nike have that on the daily, what does Nike have up here? It's got a big old gap. A big old gap. And I don't mean Gap, the clothing store, right? About a 15-point gap. Uh-oh, we just got something new that hit. Hold on. Let's see what just hit. XPEV. Oh, Lord. You know me and these China EV stocks, huh? You know me with the China EVs. We'll keep XPEV on the back burner. It's a China EV. You got to be a little careful of them. But Nike, we got a big old gap here from the earnings dip. So what do activists like to do? They like to buy stocks that have been beat down, change the CEO, take a stake in the company, change management around. Why? So they can make money. So what I'm assuming is down here, just like in Starbucks, they have been buying stock, hoping that they can change something in Nike to get the stock back up here, right? Back to the pre-gap levels. And remember, gaps get filled quick. If we look at CrowdStrike, remember I said on Telegram, I was a buyer at 200 and pretty much called the dead low. And look what happened with CrowdStrike bouncing up. Amazon, another one. Big earnings gap is already getting filled. So Nike today, we have seen in Nike, maybe an Olympics bounce, but I think it's going to be, I think there's more to it than just the Olympics. Nike today with the penny option scanner, the same trade I got from DraftKings. Uh-oh. And speaking of Nike, a new trade just hit. The August 80 calls. Let's make this real big for everyone to see. Literally, I mean, I can't make this stuff up. Right here, 304, Nike, the August 80 calls just hit for 90K. Was that one of y'all? Was that one of y'all in the chat? If so, show yourself. You don't have to, I'm just kidding. But was that one of y'all in the chat? Huh? Someone slanging 90K as soon as I say it around? Was it? Was it? Because I was just about to buy Nike calls. I was going to buy like a couple grand, not 90. But speaking of, yes, the scanner will be available in about maybe 55 minutes. The reason why is I finally got all the filtering and data complete. But I want to go over it before I make it available to the public. Okay, I want to teach y'all, and we'll be going live again tomorrow right at the market close too. So don't worry. You won't be on your own. 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, a little spoiler, I'll be live showing y'all how to use it as well. So Nike, the August, these expire this Friday. And how can we see this? These ones just hit. I was about to go over the next week calls. As you can see, the next week 81 calls just hit, right? And the 79 calls hit at 1 p.m. And then at 11:30, the 80 calls hit again. So this is 4 orders in Nike. It's a 4X. All right, let me get it in black. A 4X, a 4-time Nike champion. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to Nike. Now, you could do the weekly calls, Or you could do the next week calls if you want. You could go out to September if you want, right? But what these sneaky traders are doing is they're staying under the radar. As you can see, 92,000, 90,000 on the button. So let's just go ahead and look at the Nike options because we can see everything. So let's go to Nike, and you see the stock already popping a little after that call just hit. So Nike, the August 16th, the monthlies, 80 strike calls, it will give me the volume, 22,000, the open interest, 24,000, the premium, where they were bought on the ask, and if it's bullish. So there's two ways to play it. You could either buy the calls outright. You could buy the 78s, the 79s. You could just copy on the 80s. Or what I like on this trade too is they also bought the next week calls. They also bought the next week, August 23rd expiration, which is next Friday. 81 strike calls, volume 3255. Now there's almost 3,500. Open interest 1,121. So now this comes and says, hey, do I want to get the weeklies that are super cheap, or do I want to trade next week options that are a little bit more time, right? It really depends. Could we have a quick aggressive move today, tomorrow? Or do we want to be a little bit more conservative and go to next week? And we also had some of the 79 calls hit the scanner, the penny option scanner. They bought the 79 strike calls for about, you could see here, about 85 cents. Gives you volume. At the time was 3,600. Now it's 5,953. Open interest 2,188. And they spent about $57,000 on it. So let me ask each and every one in the chat, because I want to focus on education. What is your pick on Nike? Do you prefer the weeklies or a little bit more conservative with the next week expiration options? Let's see what the chat is saying. Next week, more conservative. So we have, I would say, a more conservative group. All right, we got a lot of conservative people. Someone posted in the chat the next week 80s. I will tend to agree with that. You can see the Nike shares starting to move up here a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put a trade on Nike. But first, before we get a trade on Nike, we got to do our size. So since this is our trade to close, our signature, how are we going to risk our size amount? So, of course, you have a small account, trade smaller size. You have a big account, you could do bigger size. What I like to do is I like to 10x my scratch offs. My aunt got me a whole line, 300 scratch offs or whatever it is, and I need an excuse to scratch them. So let's do it. And then we'll 10x whatever amount. So if we win $100, we'll do 10. We'll do $100 is only 1,000. We win $100, we'll do 10,000. How about that? If we win $50, we'll do 5,000. So let's see if we get a big win in the scratch offs. Now, to be fair, I have a multi-million-dollar. Well, I don't know if I could say that. I have a big account. I don't want to get in trouble. So I can trade pretty big size if I want. But after TKO, pretty much made my year. So size is going a little bit smaller. So I like using these scratch offs for size. So let's go ahead and see what our winning numbers are. 21, 26, 32, 15. Keep it transparent to make sure we win. If we don't win, we're still going to trade it. We're just going to do about $1,000 of risk if we don't win. And so far, it looks not good.
Lance, I'm on the beach. What do we got?
We lost our scratch off, so you know what we're gonna do? Let's just put $1,000 in. Usually I like to 10x my scratch offs, but
Oh.
all right. So let's go ahead and take these Nike calls, and we're gonna do the next week calls in Nike. And they're about the 80 calls are right at $1. I kind of like that. $1 option, easy to follow, easy to track, right? So let's say we buy, let's just do 10 contracts. We might have to get filled at 102 to be fair. So I don't think we're going to get filled at $1. Are we? No, I think we're going to have to uppay a little bit.
I'm at
to about
103.
103. All right. We have to uppay a little bit on Nike. It's about 103. 103. If you want to do the weekly calls too, obviously they're going to be a little bit higher risk because they expire in 2 days, right? In 2 days they expire. The next week calls, you have a little bit more time on them, right? So I'm going to go ahead and post these in the chat, and you can see right here, it will list everything for you on Nike. So we'll list you the expiration, the strike price, if it's bullish. So when you buy calls, that's a bullish bet, and the volume and open interest. So August 23rd, calls in Nike.
Lance,
now, what are we playing for? Oh, look at that. There we go, Graham. We got Graham on here.
I have to say, guys, I always tell you guys this. It's really not fair. But since I work with Lance, I get early access to things like this. And I have to say, Lance, this thing is next level. You've got so much data in there, so much actionable information. And as a matter of fact, Lance, I saw that DraftKings one yesterday, triple digits.
And there's more DraftKings today. Don't forget DraftKings. We'll go over DraftKings in a little bit because we had more calls hit today and the 33 strike. So yesterday, we had some of the calls in DraftKings before the close. I was up about 35% at the close. And then they had a big pop this morning, up 6%, was able to get about a triple in the night in the DraftKings. So they like the sports stocks. But also one thing I want to show y'all, and if you have the news flow scanner, Nike, they also bought the September calls today around 2 o'clock, the September 82.5 calls. So maybe you want to get a double whammy, is what I like to call it, where you buy short dated and long dated options. I call that the double whammy of calls. You have 2 different expirations. You got short dated, which will be a bit higher risk, but also you want to get a little bit more long term. You could go to September in the September 82.5 calls. You can see about 11,000 of those traded today too. So remember, in trading, it all goes down to your risk profile. Maybe you're going to SmackDown on Friday like I am. Well, I'm leaving after the market close. Maybe you're going to the beach tomorrow and for the weekend and you can't trade the weeklies, the August 16th. Maybe you're going to be gone for a few days. Maybe you go to September. Maybe you go to next week. So you can do either or. Got it? Everyone good?
Lance,
any questions? Oh, there we go.
Did Stonkamania show up today?
Stockamania is finalizing, and I'll show you, Graham, because it is the biggest deal.
Oh my.
The biggest deal in history.
Oh my. Oh baby. He's inked. Whoa.
The lawyers are still going over the paperwork.
Okay.
So
okay. Hey, like Greg said in the chat, I'm here for the madness. Told you guys I was hopping over to trade. I came to trade.
Apparently, though, it is the largest. Kramer wanted them. Charles Payne wanted them. I even heard
Jerome Powell wanted them.
I even heard he was going to get a VP nominee. And he said no. I want to be here for the fans. Now, we have a good question in the chat. What are the profit targets? Ding, 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 ding. That is what we always want to know. So for profit targets, what do we usually like to do for profit targets, especially when you're trading options around $1 or less? Do we use stop losses? Hell no. No way. Why would we use a stop loss? Graham, maybe you can answer that question.
I don't think you need them here.
Why
What's
don't
to
you need
lose?
them?
Yeah.
Right. When you're trading an option under $1, remember, the most you can lose is $1 or $100 per contract. So if we're trading cheap options, we don't really need to use a stop loss, because a 50% move in an option that expires, let's say in a couple days or next week, that could be common. The stock could just be flat for a couple days, right? So instead of using a stop loss, what we're going to do is we are going to go and scream, oh, hell yeah, brother. And we're going to shoot our profit targets out around 30%, 50%, and 100%. So let me show you how we like to set profit targets. Let's say our fill was right at $1. It was about 102 according to the fill price, 103. What I like to do is this. I bought a 10 lot. I'll sell some at 125. And we'll put a good till cancel order. So about 25%. I'll sell some at $1.50. So that will be right around 50%. And I like using good till cancel orders. So let's say I'm at Starbucks tomorrow and I don't watch the market open, which I will because I'll be here at 9:30 with the training. Well, let's just say hypothetically I'm out driving. I could still get filled. And then I always like to shoot for a big home run in short dated options. So I'll look to sell some at $2, which will be a double or 100%. Now, let's say Nike goes down tomorrow. I only have $1,000 of risk. So no harm, no foul. If you want to add, you can, but usually for weeklies, I'm not a big adder. Like, let's say the market gaps down. I'll usually just hold on, look for some news in Nike, or Nike gets a big pop. Maybe it shoots up to, let's just say 83 or 84. Then obviously I'll adjust and I could get a higher fill price. But I always like to have profit targets set. So let's say I have 10 contracts. I'll sell some at 25, 50, and 100%. And then if I have any remaining contracts, like right now, I'll have 3 remaining. Maybe I leave that on for a runner. Kind of like what we did in TKO, where we did we trimmed some and then kept some on for the earnings event, right? So I always like to have runners on because that will give you that big potential to get, like DraftKings, that 150% move in the options in a day or two. So we always like to do that. We are never selling options. Anytime you sell options or do like a calendar spread, you're better off watching paint dry. We're only buying options. Buying options, specifically the short dated options, give you the best risk versus reward in trading. You know what I'm saying?
And Lance, I'm just going to say this. You know, I love my wrap orders. We get good upside with those, 100%. But a lot of the reasons we do that is to cut the cost of the option down, because a lot of options are $500, $600, $1,000. You're talking about dollar options here.
You don't need to spread it out. You're only risking $1 or less. And some of these, which I'll show you, they're under $1. Heck, some are about 25 cents, 27 cents. So when you're trading cheap options, don't be scared of of having to do spreads. When you're trading expensive options, like let's say I was going to go trade Facebook, right? Let's say I was going to go trade Facebook. It's $525. If I want to buy, let's say, next week calls, I'm spending almost $1,000 per contract. If I buy a 10 lot, that's $10,000. I would never do that. So what I would do if I wanted to trade Facebook is I'd probably do some kind of spread like Graham says and hope it goes up. The problem when you do spreads is you do limit your upside. So that's the big issue, right? Me personally, because I want to grow a small account as quickly and as much as possible, is I prefer to do directional, cheap options. That's how you really get the best risk versus reward. You know what I'm
Especially
saying?
that cheap factor too. You
Yes,
limit your risk so much.
exactly. Because if it goes against you, you can only lose your initial value. If you were to do a naked option, then you're on the hook for unlimited. And I would pretty much say nobody should be doing naked options at all. There's just way too much bad stuff that can go wrong. So that's my little thing on that. You always want to do, when you're trading the cheap options, there's no need to spread it. If you're doing expensive options, yes. But, I'm not a big fan, as y'all know, of expensive options, to say the least. So let's move on. Everyone good? Should we move on to the next ticker? We see some Micron hitting here. Not a big fan of Micron. Why? Mostly just usually a little too expensive for me. So not a big fan of it. We see Walmart. So we had Walmart puts, close those out for about 45, 50%. I got some at 65% yesterday. So I pretty much already traded Walmart. No need to trade it right now. But we do see some Walmart. Next week, 71 calls hit for about $95,000. Walmart does have earnings. So again, already made my money in Walmart this week. So gonna not trade it. Had a real big gain in Walmart already. So no need to trade it today. You know what I mean? We already did that one pretty good. But one trade I do like here is Target. Target. Can someone in the chat post? I already posted a Nike, but if someone in the chat wants to post it as well, we did the Nike next week calls straight from the penny option scanner. But what we do have, and this is an interesting trade, actually a couple interesting ones today, is we have here in Target. So why would someone be buying Target bearish in the August 132 puts? Why would someone be doing... Melissa got it right. A sympathy play with Walmart, right? It could be protection, right? Puts can always be protection. Now, they are very, very far out the money puts. They're $4 lower in Target. The stock's at 136. 25 at the moment. So let's just go ahead and look at these Tall J puts, because Target doesn't have earnings till next week. So let's just take a look at these in Target really quick, shall we? I found these pretty interesting in Target. So Target, we see the trader. Wow, this is a huge implied move for Target. Target with the 132 puts, that's bearish. You see volume was about 2,800. Now it's about 3,800. Open interest is 758 in Target puts. So this is probably a play for Walmart. The trader's probably thinking if Walmart crashes on earnings, so does Target. But I will say, that's a pretty big move for Target to go down about... literally the stock would have to go down about $5 for these puts to move. So we can see you do have traders do correlated trades for Walmart, but that's just a little too far out the money for me. So let's see if we can move on. We do see some DraftKings again. Maybe something to take a look at here in DraftKings once again.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and pull up DraftKings.
Let's get a repeat there. Another triple.
Another triple possibly in DraftKings. So let's go ahead and pull it up. DraftKings was the August, so this week, expiration. This was the 33. We'll make this a little bigger, easy on the eyes to read. How about that? 33 strike calls. Now, these calls expire when? This Friday. And they paid above the ask. That means they overpaid, which we love that. We love when traders overpay for options, right? Love that. And we know yesterday in DraftKings that they bought calls and were right. So yesterday they bought DraftKings calls, as I posted on Telegram, and they were right. So let's go ahead and look at DraftKings here, shall we? Don't you know? And these are cheap. Oh, baby. Look how cheap these are. These are the trades I love here in DraftKings. Graham, why do I love these DraftKings calls? Let's see if Graham knows why I love them so much.
They're above ask.
Well, that too, but why do I really love them?
Oh, they're a quarter. You can take a George Washington and just flip it, you know?
They're cheap, right? They're a quarter. Now, the implied move for DraftKings is only about 78 cents. So the market makers are thinking DraftKings can go pretty much to about, let's just say 32.90, right? So there's a little bit of what we call juice on them. But I do love me some cheap options. And they're a tight spread, yes. Penny wide options. So penny options and penny wide, even better. So let's go ahead and if we want to do these, a 10 lot only costs $250. Now, why would we do maybe these a little bit smaller in size? Well, because I would consider these higher risk than Nike, since Nike was all the way for next week. These in DraftKings, and you can see they're already up about 2 cents. These were what I would consider to be a little bit higher risk. They're cheaper options. They're 2 days to expiration, and of course, they're out the money. So a trader could look at these same options. Oh my God, they're 29 cents now. Geez, if you bought these at 25 cents, you're almost up 20%.
Lance, you're talking. We got to be traded.
I know. I'm trying to educate, but maybe I shouldn't. Should just be trading. Or you could always do the 32 calls, the 32.5 calls. If you want, depending on your risk profile, you don't have to buy the same one, just like with the news flow scanner. You could always buy a cheapie, right? You could always buy an at the money option, a next week option, right? You don't have to pick the same one necessarily. Maybe you want to do something a little bit more higher probability. And we can see that right here. We can look at probability.
Oh, Isabel's asking a good question here. Just to clarify, we're not talking penny stocks here. We're talking penny options. So it's not penny stocks,
right?
Low float things. These are options. And all the penny means is they're very, very cheap options. They're still very, very liquid, heavily traded on big stocks.
And those DraftKings calls just went up 20%. With the stock up about 15 cents.
Well, Rusty and Kay both got them at 25 cents. So
if you sell them at 30 cents, that's 20%. And off a 15-cent move in the stock. Now, that's pretty incredible. So what I'm going to do, because I feel like I've already talked my big mouth enough. I'm not going to pay 30 cents. If you bought them at 25 cents, you just made 20% on me.
You're handing
right?
us the money. We're taking the old man's money.
So what you can do to trade these another way is I'm just going to go ahead and buy let's just say the 32 calls, right? So a little cheaper or a little bit more expensive, but they're not going to be as sensitive as those 33 calls. So I'm going to buy these calls. Maybe I could pay 69 cents. And that was a pretty easy fill. I just did 10 of them, so about $700 of risk. So I'm giving y'all options, pun intended, of what you want to do. Maybe you want to do it like Nike and buy next week calls. You can. The point is, I want you to see how sensitive these options move. When you see me like yesterday, posting 27, 35% on DraftKings in 20, 30 minutes, it's because the cheap options move from such a high percentage levels. That is when you're trading, that's how you can hit those big returns. Most people think, oh, I got to be in a trade for 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks to make 10, 20%. You could be in the trade 5 minutes and make 20%, right? Because remember, when you're trading, all you really care about is your P&L. It's not a matter of being right or I bought a good stock. If you bought them for 25 cents and sold them at 30 cents, that's a 20% increase. So let's say you did $1,000, you just made $200. You did 10 grand, you made 2 grand. Where else in the world can you go make a couple grand in 5-10 minutes? Right? With cheap options, it will give you that. Now, on the flip side, obviously, if it goes against you, you're going to get hit on the downside, right? So they're sensitive in both ways, from the upside and the downside, as you can see, to the stock price. So you could get a little move in the stock, and those options can move. And you can do this, yes, with any basic broker account. I'm using Schwab, but you could trade in E-Trade, Fidelity, Interactive Brokers, Robinhood, Webull. This is really perfect for folks who have very, very small accounts when you're trading. Because when you're trading a small account, it's very difficult to buy expensive options, right? Because you're tying up your capital. And when you tie up your capital, then you can't trade the next day, right? Because you have no more buying power. We always want to have buying power. And let's say, for example, these DraftKings calls. So now they're back down to 25 cents. These are from 69 cents to about 62 cents. Since I only did 10 contracts, if I want, maybe they go down a little bit. Maybe I want to buy another 5, another 10 contracts. I can, because I usually like to trade weekly options with $1,000 or $2,000. So if I'm trading, getting in small, and then of course putting my profit targets out. So what would be my profit target? I got in at 69 cents. If you got in at the 33 calls, you would maybe do 31, 32 cents. So I want to go ahead, obviously, put some profit targets out. We always like to do profit targets, of course, out there. So if I got in, let's say 70 cents, that would be about 85 cents for a profit target. Then I'll do my next one at about a double or a 50%, pardon me. That would be about 105. So I always like to set my profit targets and then add a double completely, which would be right there at about $1.40.
And Lance, I'm just watching these right now. It's kind of crazy to see how fast these move. Like you said, DraftKings was up 18 cents. 18 cents, and the options were up 20%.
That's how quick they move. Just like I know, Graham, yesterday on Telegram, you were like, man, how is DraftKings? Uh-oh, look what we have here. A new name hit. Walmart. Oh my, oh my. Walmart. So we just had some Target. Now we have some Walmart. Again, though, I want to be fully transparent. I already made my money this week on Walmart. I know they have earnings and everyone wants to talk about it, but we had Walmart puts on Monday and closed them yesterday. So Walmart, you were good to me. I don't want to trade you no more. So Walmart was already good to us. Don't want to, how do you say, risk it for the biscuit anymore. We do have Cisco with earnings too, but so far nothing on the penny option scanner with Cisco. There was some Cisco 46.5 calls earlier today on the news flow scanner. But again, Cisco, it's kind of a big cap tech stock, usually not my favorite to trade.
Oh, we got another Walmart.
Gosh, Lee. A double whammy in Walmart here, and Walmart bearish bets. So let me make it a little bit bigger. So this trader, and this is something I want you all to see, and this is really why I made the penny option scanner, is because traders now have gotten really smart. So this trade total in Walmart, and again, I'm personally not trading Walmart. Already made my money in it. So I have no desire to trade it here. More Walmart. Good Lord. So think about this. Think about what this trader is doing. They just did 3 orders in Walmart over the course of about 2 minutes. 71,000, 59,000, and 51,000. So that trader just did $181,000 in Walmart puts. Now, instead of buying these puts all at once, which, traders, news outlets will pick it up, what they're doing is they're coming in and what we call peppering the pot. So they're buying small amount of puts, so they sneak where the news feeds, my scanners, stuff like that won't see them. So they pepper in. They're buying 58 grand, 70 grand, 51 grand, staying low key so no one can see that instead of just slamming 181 grand at once. So traders have evolved. Obviously, technology has evolved to where they basically have become sneaky bastards. And that's what I want to see and show y'all with the penny option scanner. So you can see how these large traders build a position over time. Because let's say you do 4 orders at 50 grand, that's 200 grand rather than, let's say, 1 order at once. JD is a China stock. I don't love China stocks at all. So I'm not the China stocks. And what we will do probably next week is all the stocks that have not worked in the past or China ADRs and stuff. We'll probably remove those stocks just because obviously we want to only do the stocks with the highest probability, right? And some of the China ADRs I have not had good luck in, to be honest with you. And I don't want to say anything bad because I don't want the Chinese Communist Party to come after me. So let's just say China ADRs are not my favorite without getting canceled.
So Lance, just to make sure I got this, when you see a couple orders in a row, like that Walmart one, that's typically a pretty good sign for that. I know you made your money on Walmart, but that's kind of what's going on here. It's what we're looking for. We like that.
Yes, Walmart obviously is going to have lots of flow today because of earnings. So I don't want to just single out Walmart just because they have earnings. I would rather do something that didn't have earnings and wouldn't be, let's say, a do or die scenario. Because as you know, if you get earnings wrong or the stock says something in the wrong direction, it can move the price. Not every earnings trade is going to be Fortinet, although it was a huge winner. As we know, not every trade will be a 2, 3, 400% gain. So we always want, especially too in the big cap stocks that have earnings. Usually nothing gets leaked, so to speak. If it was a name like, let's say, maybe Abercrombie and Fitch, or like Ross Stores or Macy's, yeah, then I'd be all over it. But Walmart, it's just almost too big of a company to have anything secretive, so to speak. You know what I mean? So we will pass on the Walmart for right now. And let me see if we can get back to the trading here. I do like that XBEV is another Chinese ADR stock right there. All right. Nike, we did the next week calls. And then Target obviously is going to move in correlation with the Nike. By the way, a lot of the China ADRs are getting hit today. If you look at the K-Web, which is the China Internet ETF, a lot of those stocks are getting hit pretty hard. So just take a little heads up there. Is the China stocks are getting hit a little bit hard.
Hey, Ken's got a good question in the chat. He says, when picking up these penny options, is liquidity a problem? And Ken, actually,
not at all.
No, it's not at all, because these are the weekly options or the next week out. These are the most traded options out there. If you look at the short dated options chart and volume, they take up the bulk of the market. So typically, I've talked about this before, but these are the most liquid ones with the tightest bid-ask spreads.
Yes. And here's a trade that just hit here. I actually like this one in Intel. So Intel, wow, I like this one. Intel getting a nice little buy signal. Intel seeing the next week, 23. Make this bigger for everyone to read. The next week, August 23, 20 strike calls. So they're right at the money. Bullish, $96,000 on them. I actually like this trade a lot here in Intel. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Volume is 7,379. Open interest just shy of 10 grand. You're probably thinking, Lance, really? Intel? But let's go ahead and pull it up, because this is, again, cheap options. They're about 48 cents. This is exactly what I like to see in trading. The trader taking the other side here in Intel, buying this little dip here, and you could get a small move in these options, which can correlate to a very, very big move in the stock price here in Intel. So let's go ahead. And how much are these in Intel? About 47 cents. So if we want to do about $1,000 in these Intel calls, and I'll do a little bit of a Intel August 23rd, post these in the chat, 20 strike calls. You know, something like this, Graham, I could do a 20 lot. So that will give me my $1,000 of risk.
I think it's calling your name. Also, to address that question earlier about the liquidity, look at the volume, 7,900 on the volume. They're just
they're
46 and 47
penny wide options.
Yeah.
So we're trading the most liquid options out there. That's what I love. You know, they're 47 cents. If you want to sell them, you have a 1 penny wide bid ask. So that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and buy 20 of these. And you can see I don't have to risk an arm and a leg. I could buy 20 contracts and not even spend $1,000. That's perfect. That's exactly what I love to do in trading. Cheap options. Will everyone be a winner? Of course not. But when they do, you know, I can get some pretty big returns when they do work out here in Intel. And I'm a little bit cautious of the overall market just because, you know, have been rallying so much. So I don't want to go real big just in case the market goes down a little bit from here. After all, the VIX is at 16 nowadays. Should go back up. But when I'm doing cheap options, I don't have to risk a lot. So that's a beautiful little trade here in Intel. You know, again, those calls, expire next week. So I got time on them. They're pretty much right at the money in the 20 strike. And they're, of course, about 1 cent wide. So that's even better. I love the cheap options. If you look at the stock too, a nice little double bottom here on the 5-minute chart. So I like why they're buying calls. And to be fair, I mean, the stock opened up at 20.5. So it's really not a huge, Palantir. Palantir. A double whammy in Palantir. The Palantir. Oh man. I love Palantir. This is one of my favorites. Palantir, let's just make this big. Palantir singing the August 23, and with some JP Morgan coming across. August 23 expiration, 31 strike calls. So here in Palantir, this has been obviously a big favorite recently. So they hit in Palantir the 31 calls for next week at $88,000. And so this trader is a
180.
Yeah, this trader is very, very sneaky because if you think about it, instead of doing 180,000 at once, he broke them up in 83,000 and 88,000. So this is a sneaky trader. Paid above the ask. You see volume is 7,500. Open interest about 7,000. So when it's orange, it will be above the ask. And this is a Peter Thiel stock. I watched that Founders podcast, and one of the guys there have stock in it. So Palantir, something to consider here. The August 23, 31 strike calls. And then Walmart, speaking of, and we're going to have to move a little bit fast here because we're going to get a lot of names hit towards the close. I love the closing bell orders, right?
That's so the PLTR both slid in almost the same time. Both slid in under 100 grand, so kind of under that radar, the $100,000 threshold. But Link is pretty sweet, Yeah,
he knows they know what they're doing, right? They're not doing this by chance. They're what we call peppering in the pot.
Oh, and he's back at it again.
And more. Oh my gosh. 2 more here in Palantir. So this trader, look at this. More Palantir hitting. So this trader now is buying the Palantir calls that expire Friday. So regular monthly August expiration, the 30.5 calls. So this trader, look at this, same, very similar size, 57 grand, 65 grand. So this trader broke it up. So what's that total? About, 130K? So 130K, this trader spent here about 180K. So this trader is looking at what? 210, about 310K. And that nobody would have saw that in calls here in Palantir. So it's very, very, very suspicious here in Palantir. I know the stock is up at a 52-week high, but I think I'm going to have to grab me some Palantir. And these in Palantir, these were the 31 calls for next week, and then these are the 30.5 for this week. I'm probably going to do a little bit of the next week calls just to be a little bit conservative here. A little conservative. Again, I never want to trade huge on short dated, but also I want to be a little cautious in case the market go down the next couple of days. So I don't want to go all in, so to speak. But I do love Palantir. This has been one of my favorite stocks for and if we go back, we can see all the Palantir orders. In fact, before we came on, at 2:30. So it will also give us the date and time. They bought more of those 31 calls for next week, about $57,000 as well. So if we add that total, 57,000, 80,000, let's just say 140, 240, let's just say 300, about 360 grand total in Palantir calls this afternoon. Not a little chump change for Palantir.
Sliding on the right. It's like playing playing poker, and I'm seeing your cards, Lance. Except for
Exactly.
That's kind of cool.
Exactly. And think of it this way. Let's say you have a good hand, and speaking of poker, let's say you have like pocket aces, right? Are you going to go and put all your money in the pot at once, or are you going to want to maybe bet $50, $70, $100 and try to get more people, to come in the pot and play with you, right? If they were to just show their hand at once, the market makers too, there's a couple different things they can do for a big order, to basically balance themselves out. When it's smaller, they can gather more stock and more options without moving the underlying stock price, so to speak. So a little sneaky trick right there, and that these traders are doing. And also, I mean, think of it also too, in TKO, that trade, what was I doing? Every time TKO went down, I was buying more and more of those calls, right? I was gathering a position, building a position over time for the earnings event. That's what these trader seems to be doing this afternoon, is acquiring all these short dated cheap options in Palantir. So let's go ahead and put some profit targets out before we forget. Let's do some at about 120. We'll always put these as a good till cancel order. We'll put some at 50%, which is about 45, that'd be 95, about 135. And then we'll do about 180. I did too many of those. So we always want to set profit targets. Just use proper trading. And then some at 180 for about a double. So anytime you get in a position, always know what your exits are going to be. And since you always have your exits working, you don't have to do anything fancy, right? You always have your exits out there. So if you get good, like DraftKings, maybe I should have bought more when it dipped a little bit, right? That might have been smarter. Of course, we want to educate. And also, we will be going live trading with the penny option scanner right at the opening bell. That's when it's going to be the busiest time of day. Obviously, the opening bells when we get the most orders. We've been testing for the past few weeks to get everything. And I think one day we got around 100 orders. So obviously we filtered it a little bit more. And we've been working on this for about 8 months. And we finally got it available for everyone today. And once we did, we wanted to go live, but also give y'all the chance to trade live tomorrow with it. So with that, Graham, and I want you to keep an eye on it. Okay?
Oh yeah.
And
I got you.
hoot and holler if we get anything before the closing bell. All right, Graham? I want you to hoot and holler if anything hits. I got it right here.
PLTR moving.
Okay? Hoot and holler if anything hits. But we do have something I'm very, very excited. I've been very stressed out the past couple weeks because we thought we were going to have it available, but I wanted to perfect it. Oh my God, more Palantir hit. Palantir, more 75,000 of the 31 calls in Palantir. So more Palantir hitting, 75,000 in the 31 calls in Palantir. We got some UBS hitting here too. Yeah, UBS, the 30s, about 140 grand total. Man, these traders are sneaky, huh? These are some sneaky.
You got it. What? 2 minutes till the close?
2 minutes for the close, too. All right. I got it up. But we do have something very, very important. For Diamond Club, we've been doing trade alerts and what we call the option pit, which it is a full Telegram channel dedicated. We do many trades a day, and you can have that be in it as well, so you'll know exactly when to buy and sell. Of course, we all know there will be winners and losers. Before we wrap up today's session, we wanted to fully go over the last 7 months, really the past 8 months, because it took. Thank you, Mark. Mark says he loves it. It's not because we wanted to sell another product. It's because the options market, and we cover this a little bit today, it is evolving. It really is. And I want y'all to be able to see that and be a part of it. Traders on the inside are becoming smarter, more strategic. They understand option flow is being monitored. In fact, I have a news feed that will pick up option flow usually 5 to 10 minutes after I see it. And then they share it to thousands of people, right? And you pay, like $200 a month for it. The tactics that used to slide under the radar, they don't anymore. That led to a shift in how they approach the market. You see, most everyone now tracks big orders. CNBC has it. Thinkorswim will even showcase what's going on in the option market and stock XYZ, the whales, broker platforms, the media, even the news flow scanner. I've had trades get mentioned on TV before, but no one tracks orders of 100K or less. And that's why the smartest traders have a leg up on everyone else. They want to stay under the radar. Heck, it might even be some of y'all placing smaller orders and cheaper options, doing it more frequently. And that's created a new way to approach the options market. To explain, let me show you what happened just the other week. We had 700 contracts at 60 cents. It was a $42,000 order. Then we had another 1,000 contracts. It was $77,000 worth. We had another order, almost 1,000 contracts worth $59,000. Nice little close there in Palantir. And we had another order hit, 99 grand. So when someone's putting 99,000 in, they're doing that on purpose. It's not that they're using all their money, 99 grand. They know if they do 100K, it's going to show up. All in total was $277,000. That would have got the attention from the media, the news outlets, the trading platforms. But since it was small, if I placed a trade in TKO for 50 grand, that's about the total trade I had in it. No one's going to notice that, right? No one's going to notice me placing 50K in a wrestling company. In that case, the option surged about 100% in a few hours. Then it was all over the media websites. Nike popping after hours. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Nike. Yes. Nike 81 print after hours. Oh my God. Oh, did my computer freeze? Oh my God. Nike. If people want, they could short stock here after hours and lock in the gains.
Lock that in.
Nike with an 82 print after hours. Oh man, there's got to be news.
Why don't we buy 100 of them?
Why don't I buy 1,000 of them?
Yeah.
Hold on. Nike, big pop here after hours. Oh my gosh. Why didn't I do the week? Nike here, there's got to be news. If you want to lock in a double, you could always short stock at 82. If not, I'm just going to ride them out till tomorrow. Oh man, Nike here popping. There's got to be news on Nike. Trying to see if I see it. Oh man, I can't even read the presentation. What's the Nike news? Oh man, Nike. Why don't we buy more? Oh man, Nike what's the news? If someone can find it, there's got to be news. Look at the shares pop here. As soon as the market closed, I wonder if there's the activists. activist came out on Nike. Anywho, I don't know if I could finish the deck now.
Lance, tell us how we
Congrats
get
for
more
Nike.
Nikes.
Oh, Nike 82.5. Oh, baby. Oh, Nike.
And you're going to trade this
Bill
again tomorrow
Ackman's
morning?
in Nike. Bill Ackman's in Nike. Bill Ackman's in Nike. Bill Ackman. Bill Ackman of Pershing Square's in Nike.
Wow.
I knew it. The 13 Fs got filed today. I should have put that together. Bill Ackman's in Nike. If you want a short stock after hours, you can lock in a double for Nike, or you could just ride it, which I am going to do. Woo! Wow. Nike. All right. Well, that's the power of the penny option scanner. Now we know why they were buying weekly calls and next week calls in Nike, huh? Jeez. That was quick.
I bet that 9:30 trade room tomorrow is going to be a hoot.
Yep. So, and, besides even reading the slide deck, y'all see now why they did 91,000, 90,000 in Nike today in the afternoon to stay under 100K. Sneaky bastard. Wow. Remember, you could always short stock after hours to lock in the price of the options if you want. So if you short stock at 82, you lock in a double in those options, right? If the stock goes down, you make money on the short stock. Stock goes up, you make money on the long calls. Woo! Nike. Here it is. There's the news. Nike. Bill Ackman's Pershing Square Management reports a share stake of 3 million share Class B shares in Nike, SEC filing. There you go. Nike news hitting. Wow. Well, that was quick. Anywho, if you want the penny stock option scanner, we do have a special. We'll get out of Nike tomorrow at the open and we'll go over the trade live together. Graham, should I even read it? Well, here's why I invited everyone here. After 7 months of working on the penny option scanner and with the CBOE, who they've been fantastic to work with. So if you ever, the CBOE has great people. They merged with Trade Alert, the company I used to work with. But this is the only scanner in the world. How do we know? Because, well, we worked together with the CBOE for quite some time with it. So if you want to become a beta tester with the penny option scanner, you will have 90 days unlimited access to the penny option scanner. I'll teach you how to interpret the signals. Oh, nice move in Cisco here. Cisco up a couple bucks. We'll do a number of live trading classes together, specifically tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. So right at the opening bell, we will go live together. And at least once a week. In the last couple of weeks, it's been incredible. We've had Pinterest puts 183%, and that only cost 54 cents, and we got out around $1.50. So it was very, very nice. 10 contracts was $1,500. Man, nice move in Cisco here. Up $2 as well. Wow. So even Cisco. Now we want you to do more. We want more involvement than just, giving you the scanner. We want to teach you how to use it. We've done 21 trades. We've had, of course, not 100% winners. We've had a few losers, but I'm confident we'll find plenty of strong opportunities over the next 90 days. Now, obviously, I can't give it to you for free, but as a beta tester, I can make it worth your while. When we finally do release it, which I'm not sure when we will to the public, it will start around 1997. You'll get $1,000 off today. You'll get instant access where you can join me tomorrow, and you'll have it tomorrow for the opening bell for $997. And here's the best part. The next 90 days are on the house. That means your annual membership won't start till those 90 days have passed. So you have 3 months before your membership even starts. My goal is to make sure we cover enough opportunities and, of course, focus on the education part with the live trainings. Nike 82.5 here after hours. Oh my God. Oh, Cisco bid too. If you want to be part of the penny option scanner, get all the signals, be part of the beta testing group. So we're going to meet once a week to go over the good, the bad, what to change, what to add. Go to my name, lanceippolito.com/penny. I never thought I'd be a penny. Or click the link in the chat. Also, if you want to call 904-404-8873, press 1. That's 904-404-8873. Can someone post that in the chat, the link and stuff? Just click on the link. That's the easiest way. But if you want the phone number, you could call 904-404-8873. I'm so pumped. Nike up, Cisco up. Woo! Wow. We've already built it out. All you do, just like with the news flow scanner, there's no installation. It's a simple website. You go on it, and it's up and running. You don't have to do anything. If you want to search, if you want to download the data, you can too, but there's no installation. It's a web page. So as long as you have Safari, Google Chrome, Firefox, whatever, you browse the internet, you will have it up. Just like the news flow scanner, there's nothing to install. You could do it on any computer, laptop, cell phone it even works on. So if you're traveling, you get today $1,000 off before it goes public. And gang, I'm not sure when they're going to release it to the public. The writers haven't even wrote a thing for it yet. They haven't done anything. So it might be months. It might be 2-3 months. And then there will be $1,000 more, be $2,000. Just go to lanceippolito.com/POS. Is it POS or penny?
Penny. You got to go to penny.
Penny.
I just looked. So Lance,
Okay.
you're giving people 90 days free on the house, and then they get a year. So it's really like a 15-month. Over a year.
15 months of it. But
Wow.
but also, Graham, there's actually more as well. And Graham, can you let me know if I don't see anything on the page, if people need to for the sales, or if they need to call the number?
Click that. We got a ton of people there. We got a ton of people in the chat. It's hard to keep up with all the messages.
Okay, perfect. And we have our first session tomorrow at 9:30. So right at the open where we'll close Nike calls. But also Monday, August 19th, we have another training with the penny option scanner. If you attended the trainings, you know we have some pretty incredible opportunities. Just like some of the top folks, like Ken made $1,700. Keith, a double. Rose, 544%. Goose, and at Nike at 420, out at 1650. So we love Nike. Go to lanceippolito.com/penny, or just click the link in the chat. That would be probably the easiest way. But after, don't close the order form page. This is something very, very special. It's the first time I've ever done this. I have something to share with y'all. If you want to get all the trade alerts sent to you on your phone, what you can get is called the options pit. Y'all know on my regular Telegram, I post like DraftKings yesterday. You know, DraftKings seeing big weekly calls in the 32 strike. If you want all the trades on Telegram of when to get in and when to get out with the prices, you can also join the option pit. This is something brand new. You'll probably get 10 to 20 plus trades a day in it. It is all my favorite signals across all the penny option scanner and more. Even my personal trades that I place in my big account. We'll share all the details with you. You'll get the penny option scanner, and if you want the option pit, you will get that. If you have any remaining questions, feel free to post in the chat. Today, though, and I don't know how long it will be good for. Today, though, It is only $9.97. You get to trade with me tomorrow morning at 9:30 and Monday, and you get 90 days on the house plus the $1,000 discount. And if you want, you can even sign up for the option pit. There's only a very small select group of people in the option pit. So now's your chance to join. That may be a couple $1,000 when we open it up to the public too in the near future. So just being transparent with y'all, that is not open to the public either. And you get that $1,000 early scanner access. The writers were so pumped. They even spelled early incorrectly because we were so excited to finally get this out. But let me get to questions in the chat. Yeah, Mark says, if you made the Nike, this would be free. Literally, if you did 10 contracts in Nike, like I did, this would be literally, you would pay for the subscription already. And it took what? 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you already paid for your subscription just by having 10 contracts of Nike. Pretty remarkable. Of course, I cannot promise results and all that disclaimer stuff, but it's only $9.97. Gang, get in while you can. Literally today in the afternoon, I was eating my hot dog, drinking my Diet Coke at Costco, and the team said, Lance, we have everything perfect. Can you go on this afternoon and get this available to a small select group of testers? This is the first time we're ever going to open it up. And I said, I'm on the way home in 20 minutes. I ate the hot dog, had mustard and ketchup all over my face, and boom, we got it up and running to share with you. This is the first time ever. If you're wondering, how is this different with the news flow scanner? The news flow scanner is the institutional order flow scanner that shows you all the trades. It could be millions of dollars. It could be $250,000. It could be 500,000. It's the biggest impact orders. But as we saw, we've had the news flow scanner out for about 2 years now. Okay. So it's been around the block. I created the news flow scanner and started trading order flow about 8 years ago. Right. And to be honest with y'all, before we got the CBOE bought out, I was one of the only people who could have that information and share it. I actually got in trouble with the CBOE once for sharing the data years ago. But what that does is that technology, other companies have tried to recreate it, not as good. I'll be full transparent. But I've noticed broker platforms like Thinkorswim. I've noticed media outlets. I've noticed more, even like MarketWatch and CNBC, be able to pick up. And usually they're wrong with the order flow, but it's gotten too mainstream. And trust me, I still use it every day, and I always will. I won't trade without it. But what I've realized back in January is I had a meeting with one of the top guys in the financial fintech industry. And I said, more people are trading now, and more people are getting smarter using $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 orders to build a position instead of just showing all their cards at once. And I'm able to see it. And he's like, how? And I was like, well, I get the raw data from the CBOE and I can see all the raw data. It just, I have to sort through, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. I have to sort through thousands of orders a day. Thousands, tens of thousands, probably orders a day. A lot of these are junk. 12 cents, 3 cents, 1 cent, 40 cents, split tickets, spreads, crosses, iron condor stuff, they're not directional. They have no meaning, basically. So what I wanted to do was get these small orders instead of me having to manually scan them nonstop. I mean, I wasn't leaving my computer for the last really 7 months. I couldn't leave my computer because if I missed something, I would have to go back and look through thousands and thousands of orders. So I wanted to get those smaller, just like you saw today, 60 grand, 70 grand, 80 grand, 90 grand orders, and be able to see them filtered with the exact time, the expiration, the strike. If they were bullish, did they buy on the ask? Did they overpay? Right? And we actually got volume and open interest included because y'all kept saying, I want to see volume. I want to know if I'm doing the correct strike price, the correct expiration. So we got that data with the CBOE. And like this trader in Nike who bought the weekly 80 calls for 90 grand, those weekly calls, and maybe I should have bought those, are going to go from 39 cents to $2 in a day. So if anyone bought weekly calls, you're going to be up so much from percentage point of view. You're going to be up 5, 6, 7x your money. And that doesn't happen just by chance. It happens because these traders have gotten smarter, staying low key, under the radar, doing these, 57,000, 54,000. You would think, okay, that's not a lot of money. But when you add that up time and time again, 50 grand, 50 grand, 90 grand, 180 grand, that adds up to about 300,000 bucks almost. That is a lot of money, right? That's like buying a Toyota Camry or buying a Lamborghini. Maybe not a Lamborghini, maybe let's say a Porsche GT3 or something. But it does make a big difference. And I've noticed a shift in the markets. You got more people trading now. Quite frankly, you got more people with more money nowadays than 5 years ago, right? Just think of how much everything's gone up. That I wanted to find a way to see that. And it's taken so much time. And I do apologize. I thought we would have it ready in a few weeks from now or a few weeks ago, and it just wasn't perfect. So I didn't want to release it. I'm not going to release something that's not fully, I'm confident in and complete. So we waited and we finally have it out. This is a very, very special deal to get in early access. You'll see it all over probably the YouTube, the internet, Yahoo Finance, Market Watch, probably 3 or 4 months from now. And it will be, 1997. The option pit will probably be, who knows, 1,500 or $2,000, whatever they want to charge, Nathan. But I felt horrible the past couple weeks, not being able to deliver after, I know y'all got emails and texts. So we did a very, very, very special deal, trying to keep it affordable. After all, we're trading dollar options or less. The filters are, the option has to be under $1 and it has to be between 50 to 100,000 bucks. When it does, it will appear on the scanner, the penny option scanner. To be honest, I'm just calling it that because the options are so cheap, right? We're not doing penny stocks or anything like that, but the options are so cheap on it. I just like the name penny option. And we're able to finally get this available to y'all. Let me go ahead and get into some questions. I don't know if someone could read me the most common questions. I do apologize. I just saw the chat.
While you do that, Lance, I just want to remind everyone these orders are moving fast. So if you haven't gone to that lanceippolito.com/penny, go there now. We'll post it in the chat again, or call that phone number 904-444-8873. I am also having a ton of traders asking about the lifetime option. So once you take either the 1 year or 2 year, we'll automatically give you access to that plus your 90 days free. And on the next page, it'll ask you if you want to upgrade to lifetime. And in doing so, we'll also give you 90 days free to the options pit. Now, if you want a full year to the options pit, you can actually upgrade on the other page and get a full year to that as well. So lifetime, though, to the penny options scanner will get you that 90 days free also to the options pit. Let's see here. We got some questions. How often does the scanner go off, or how many trades should they expect roughly?
Oh, so that's a real good question. I would say, and we'll be going live tomorrow with it, but I would say right around the ballpark of about 50 or so trades a day. But what we will do is tomorrow, since we'll be live together, we'll go over all the trades together in the morning, and I'll know if it's going a little bit too much. We can do a little bit more filtering. If it's going a little bit too fast for people, we could always slow it down and stuff like that. But we have full ability to go ahead and mess with the filtering. We talk with the CBOE almost every day now, and we work with them to get all the filters. And we will also be going live Monday. So we'll have Monday live as well to go over. But I would say about 50 to 75 is what we've noticed so far. And also, Josiah, the option pit, let me show that, because this is something we started. And what you do with this is you'll get, for example, we had some Norwegian puts earlier today. Hit the scanner. Let me pull it up here. We had some Norwegian puts. So we did Norwegian, seeing next week 15 puts around a quarter, and the weekly 16 puts. Norwegian got sold off on the lows, sold out of the puts. CrowdStrike took some 245 puts, didn't work, lost 14 cents. Nike, speaking of the option pit, at 2:18 p.m., posted Nike, August 80 calls trading like butter. That means like water, lots of them trading, lots of calls. There was activist chatter earlier today. And September 82.5 calls, around 11,000 contracts trading today. That was at 2:18 p.m. on the options pit for Nike. So I include color throughout the day. We had some J&J calls yesterday. Nice pop. On the calls, had some match puts later in the week, had some city puts as well. We did some Zoom earlier in the week. We had Run, which did more. So we post the entries, the exits. You get, I would probably say around 10. It depends really on the market, how busy it is. But today, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 posts today. And again, today was a very, very busy day, to say the least. So you get that included. Josiah, what was the special for that they get as well?
Yeah,
and
so
this is all brand new, by the way. So you're literally getting the first early access only to members.
Yeah, if you take the 997 1 year today, the next page will offer you a special upgrade for you to pay just one more price to upgrade. So you'll have lifetime access to the penny option scanner. And once you do that, you'll get 90 days free to the options pit, that's private Telegram channel where Lance actually posts his own trades in there off the penny option scanner. And then the next page, actually, if you just want to go ahead and say, you know what, I want a full year to that options pit, you can go ahead and do that on the next page. So lots of options. If you guys have any questions, I know we have still 600 people in the room. So we got lots of traders here. We have lots of current members, or maybe people that aren't members with us. Give our team a call if you have additional questions that we're not able to answer here, because there are so many traders and the chat is just it's just whizzing by every second. So go to lanceippolito.com/penny to get signed up, or call that phone number if you have any other questions. We have multiple, I think 12 reps on today on the phones answering questions. We also have Caitlin here in the room, helping moderate questions. She is in charge and manages our phone team. And so she is, if you guys aren't connecting with people, because I believe that the phones are extremely busy and booked up, you can go ahead and leave your phone number or email address in the chat, and only our team will see that, and we'll be able to get in contact with you as early as possible. With all this, with all the demand coming in for this, it's pretty busy, but we're gonna get to you guys.
Man, I'm so pumped for Nike. Shares up 5% after hours. I mean, gang, if you took Nike, you should have this. I mean, you're going to get, of course, whatever size you want to trade, but I'm going to be up $1,000 at least in Nike tomorrow on 10 contracts. I mean, it's insane. It's insane out there. And that's just one trade. Again, we're going to be doing this. My whole focus is education, education, education. We're going to be focused tomorrow morning, trading live. Monday, trading live. At least once a week, doing live trading, education, showing you how to read it. But also, I thought, what's the best way to get your feedback? It's by doing live chat trainings together so we can make it even better. That's the beauty of it. Great job, B-Rad. I love the name, by the way. We'll be closing out Nike tomorrow live together in the morning. So probably within the first, we'll be there right at the opening bell, and we'll take it. Good job, Paul. Cisco, nice move there. Great work. Wow,
Hey,
Cisco
Frank, when you get lifetime, it'll give you access to 90 days to the options pit.
Linda has a very good question. So you're good till cancel orders, and Nike will cancel out. So Nike will be over, obviously, the 30, 40, 50%, 100%. So if you have good till cancel orders, just go ahead and cancel them, and we'll open the trades together tomorrow. We'll close them out together. But yes, great question. Nathan says, can't wait to get rich tomorrow morning with Lance. But yeah, that's going to be,
Lance, here's a great question. We have a ton of people here that already own your NewsFlow scanner. Explain to them why this is such a great addition to their tool belt, and the different opportunities that it presents on top of the NewsFlow.
Right, exactly. So the NewsFlow scanner is great, fantastic, especially day trade, swing trade, earnings trades, but it's not going to show you these smaller, I call them really sneaky orders that come across and people peppering in. What this does, and this is why we included the options pit as well. So just from a small underlying move in the stock, you can see with these cheaper options, a big percentage gain in them. That with the NewsFlow scanner, you're seeing options, sometimes $5, $6, $7, and you're seeing options that go out, sometimes till next year. What we filtered with the penny option scanner is that the filters are 14 days or less. So basically, it's going to be this week and next week options from 50 to 100K, those orders. So with the NewsFlow scanner, we have 100,000 or higher for the premium. This is 50 to 100K. And then the option has to be equal to or less than $1. So if you have a small account, it's really perfect for you. If you have a big account, obviously you could trade more contracts. But with the flexibility and the cheaper options, you really could get more bang for your buck. And that's why, you're going to see more unique stocks, more different stocks. Maybe, you won't see the AVGOs and super micro computers like you will with the NewsFlow scanner. Because quite frankly, I can only really trade super micro on like Thursday or Fridays because it's so expensive, right? So with this, you get cheaper options, shorter dated, smaller premium, and really looking for those traders who, kind of got smarter and don't want to really show their hands at once. They want to build a smaller stake. And then obviously we've been able to see that with it. Awesome. Thank you, Don. And yeah, if you want to join the options pit, please do. I post stuff literally all day in Telegram right now. And now all those posts from Telegram on the free one will be in the option pit, and then obviously a lot more detailed as well with the the strike price, the expiration, and the dollar amount to pay and when to get out. Usually with the free Telegram, I like giving a general insight. Obviously lots of we have almost 5,000 people in there, and I don't want to give specifics because it's again a free channel. The option pit is way more, not only specific, but more trades with entries and exits. But also, I can type my own in there, and y'all can see it. Sometimes I type real quick. No fancy stuff. No fancy thumbnails or pictures or anything, and it's quick. It literally could take me 5 seconds to type with my big fat fingers and post it there. So you can have that up and running. It's just an easier way to communicate throughout the day without trying to clog up my regular Telegram Lance Ippolito trading channel, which they send all the links and pictures and stuff like that. It's just strictly for trades.
Tom's asking, do you need specialized software?
No, not at all. So this is a simple, it is a simple, man, we talked about that Nike gap fill too, huh? That gap fill is getting close, aren't we? What are we at? 82.5. So we're getting close to that gap fill. This is simply an online website. So for example, let's say I go to one of my car websites. I've been looking at Porsches a lot. But let's say, just like you go on Google or something, right? It's just a simple website. So you can have it up, open on a tab while you go look at Porsches, or while you go check your emails, or while you go to Amazon shopping. When you sign up, you'll just get a link. Once you do, you don't have to do anything else. Click on the scanner, and then boom, you're up and running. You don't have to do anything fancy, no installation. And what's really cool is if you want to make it small, what you can do is click on it and then get all the details. So like, let's say you want to just have it up on the corner of your screen while you have your charts and stuff. You can do it that way as well, where you could click and it will give you all the data down here. This is something I really wanted to do to make friendly for people for their screen space. And then if you want to make it big and easy, you can. If you want to make the font bigger, I think we're going to try to put the font in bold next update. And all the updates are free, by the way. So you'll never pay anything ever again. All updates and stuff like that, of course, are free. Can we hit up signed up with the option pit for Doc for CAD? Can we I think Josiah, the option pit is on the let me click the link in the chat if someone could post it.
Post
Oh,
what?
there it is. Can you post the link? Oh, there we go. I got it. So when you fill out your details, the option pit should what be on the next page, Josiah?
Yes. Yep. So if they take the 1 year or the 2 year, no matter what, it'll take them to an option to upgrade to lifetime.
Oh, thank you. There it is. Thank you for Nike for paying for my membership fee. Well, you click your mouse.
Let's go.
Good job. Of course, you click your mouse. So all I can do is give you guys as much intel that I can. And that's why I've been creating, the scanners, the software, trying to help you get the power into your own hands And once you do, you at the end of the day make the decision, right? So I just gave you an idea. You're the one to execute. For example, we had someone who got Cisco calls. That was your decision, and you're getting rewarded, right? If you bought Nike calls, you bought the weeklies, you bought next week, you bought September, you're the one who gets the reward for it, right? I mean, it's yours. So that's, you got to really applaud yourself. All I'm trying to do is give you guys as much information out there that I can with, the big team, the connections with the CBOE to get y'all not left behind, not left in the dark. That's my biggest thing, and has been. I was very fortunate back in the day to have access to the CBOE trade alert with the institutional order flow scanner, and now I've been working, and team has been fantastic with the CBOE to get that for y'all in your hands, so you can make the best decisions. And you want to buy with the weekly calls, the next week calls, you can do it. But you really, at the end of the day, get the reward and enjoy it for yourself. Danny, you got the Panorama. I like those too. I've been looking at the Caymans and the 911s. It's very difficult to get a 911 still here, at least in Tampa. MC, if you want to join, I would just write down the phone number and then call either later today if you're at the gym or tomorrow. But if you were on the webinar, you should be able, the team and Caitlin's on here with customer support. They should be able to get you all hooked up and everything like that. It shouldn't take long. Again, it's just a simple web page. And of course, it's not going to be up and running because the market's closed now, but you'll have it up and running for tomorrow. And I'll be live with you guys and girls right at the opening bell tomorrow. So don't worry about that. I'll be there right there with you. And then we have another training Monday. So we got tomorrow morning and Monday. And then and Lance, there's
I was about to say, I'm getting some messages from the phone team that the phones have slowed down. So if you guys are still sitting on the fence, I know we have 400 people still here in the room. Give our team a call, ask any questions, or go to that order form, lanceippolito.com/penny. Get signed up. We have over 100 orders already. So welcome, everyone. Make sure to join us tomorrow morning. If you guys are still on the fence, we still invite you to join us tomorrow morning to trade with us. Because we are going to open that up a little bit wider to all of our audiences here. So should be an exciting morning.
Exactly. And also too, we do have, I guess, the official training mastermind thing Monday, but we're still going to meet and go over everything every week. So if you can't make it, for a week or so, of course it'll be recorded, but you'll always be the next week, the next week, the next week. It will be continuous education. It just won't be a one-time thing. Here you go. It will probably go on for the next, who knows how long, 6 months or so. I think we've been doing education on the news flow scanner for probably 2 years now or so out there. And if you do have both, what I would do, and this is what I told the team earlier, I just have them both lined up together on my charts. So I usually just have them lined up right next to each other on my screens, or you can have one on your phone as well if you have that. They also the penny option scanner also works on mobile or tablet and everything. Eastern time. So as soon as the market opens, Camille, as soon as the U.S. stock market opens. If you never traded an option before, don't worry. We have lots of education. We'll get you hooked up with the option Option Hero workshop. Did we include that, Josiah, or can we include that in the members area?
Yes, sir. Yep, it's already in the members
area. Oh, there
it
is. It's already in there. Watch the Option Hero workshop. It will be an A to Z guide with options. And also, too, I'll be making a video probably later today on, or probably tomorrow, actually, on how to use again, it's very simple. You just go on the website, but how to read it, how to place a trade from the scanner, stuff like that. But I would say definitely try to come to the classes either tomorrow morning or Monday would probably be the best bet. Yes, Jeremy, 100%. I get a lot of trades and cross-reference trades through the scanner for various programs like Pfizer. The calls were just trading insane yesterday, and a lot of weekly or a lot of next week calls too. So I did some of the September monthly calls with it. So I always like to see, especially in kind of these different unique stocks, I always like to see calls being bought in different names that kind of just are unusual, to say the least. Is there an option pin included, or do you have to be a lifetime subscriber or 1 year or 2 deal? Josiah, can you answer that by Bass?
Yep. So you got to be a lifetime subscriber for that, Bass. So it doesn't matter if you take the 1 year or 2 year. If you want to upgrade to lifetime, you'll get locked in at that. Let's see here, $24.94. So it's about $2,500 total for the penny options lifetime, and that will give you 3 months free to the options pit. And FBAS, if you want, you can upgrade to a full year to the options pit. That's just additional to the $2,500 lifetime penny options. And again, guys, we do plan on releasing this wider to the public later on, but we did want to get this out to all Lance's followers and members here at the Trading Pub at the best possible price. So when you see it later down the road, like we said, it will be at that $14.97, $19.97 price point. So we did want to honor our best readers, our best traders today. So if you guys haven't done that, go to lancepolito.com/penny, get signed up, and go through what we got in there. We got the Options Hero workshop, like Lance said. Digest that and come tomorrow morning ready to trade. Also, if you guys are not members in Lance's Telegram, highly suggest getting in there because we'll be posting login links tomorrow morning to this session. To the 9:30 session, so you can trade the penny option scanner live. And what's the most exciting is for all of you that are buying it right now, which I highly recommend locking that in right now. Tomorrow morning, you won't just be watching Lance interact with all the different orders hitting the scanner. You'll actually be able to have your own scanner on your window.
Right.
So that'll be really exciting. You can throw scanners. Hey, Lance, I just saw, whatever the ticker may be, hit the scanner. What do you think of that? So it should be actually, guys, if you purchase, you're actually going to bring probably more value and more. You'll be able to point out more opportunities alongside Lance tomorrow morning. So go ahead and take advantage of that.
Yeah, like Josiah said, when I say this is the earliest stages of becoming a tester for it before it goes public. We're dead serious. So that's why you get all the training sessions. So tomorrow, Monday, and for every week going forward, and the next 90 days on the house, of course, with the $1,000 discount, because the folks, the writers, we have Graham, Rodney, who write, to put these decks and put these fancy decks and everything together. They haven't even worked on or anything setting up anything on the calendar for the public, and that takes a whole team of people and everything like that. And by the time that happens, it might be a month, 2 months, 3 months, and it will be at a higher $19.97 price point. And then not even sure with the option pit if they're going to allow that or what they're going to sell that for. Probably $1,000 more too. So just when I say this is the early stages, and there will be stuff where we'll go. Like I already know a couple things. I want to change some of the font on it. I want to make it, bigger, bolder, easier to read. There may be tickers that don't work that we need to kick off and remove. And we will. And that's why we want y'all to come every week and give us feedback, what you like, what you don't like, how we can make it better. Because when we had the early stages of the news flow scanner, we had a few changes of it to get it the way it looks and works now. And that's what we're going to be doing with this. I was very hesitant because it looks different and everything. And then when I was like, oh, it's easy to click on, it's easy to read and stuff like that. I was like, I'm starting to get used to it. I'm starting to like it. But there will be stuff, and we want your feedback going forward and everything like that. Yeah, and if you have a small account, this is really, really good. If you have a small account, because the options are from a dime, so $10 to $100. That's it. So I would say if you have a small account, it's very, very friendly rather than, let's say you have $1,000 account, then buying a $5 option and you have 50% of your account just in that one option. With this, let's say it's a 50-cent option, you could buy 2 contracts and it will only cost you $100, or 10 contracts only cost you $500 or so. If you're worried about pricing or anything like that, you could always call our team. I don't handle any of the pricing. If I did, with all the time and money we spent, it would be a lot more. But you could always call the 904-404-8873 number. And I'm not sure what they can do. I don't see all that, but we do have very, very friendly people over there. I would say the average hold time is maybe 1 to 3 days. I really can't think of anything I've held more than 3 days. Looking back, most are, I would say, a day or 2, though. Yes, and the trainings will be recorded, of course.
I was about to say, in my little $2,000 trading account over here, I bought DraftKings, Intel, Nike, Palantir, and only risked about $400 total. And I bought multiple contracts of some of them. So that's only 20% of the account. Nike's gonna, even if the other 3 tank, Nike's gonna help that little rotation out. But yeah, guys, but some of these, they were so cheap. Even if I had a $200 account here, I could have traded all 4.
Yep, that's what's super cool. Like I trade a small account for starting off, especially, and I never really got big with like spreads or never got with expensive options. And even to this day, I'm still a little scared of I'm still a little scared, quite frankly, of like expensive options, just because I don't like seeing the wild swings. If it's a cheap option, then I don't really care because I know what I can lose. Like, let's say it doesn't work out. Like, let's say DraftKings gets shut down by the government tomorrow. They say, hey, no more. We're shutting down sports and you're banned DraftKings. I don't think they will, but let's just say it does. I know I can only lose the amount I put in for the price I paid for them, which is, if I bought, let's say, a $10 option, then I would be like, oh crap, man, I'm going to lose $1,000 per contract. So I hate using the word instant gratification or instant results, but I want to know within that day or the next day or 2 if it's going to work or if it's not going to work, so I can move on. It's like going on a blind date, or maybe you go on what's that, where you get like a name tag, the speed dating, right? And within a couple minutes of chit chatting, do I want to move on to the next date or not? Or you meet someone out for a drink or coffee, within probably 20, 30 minutes if it's a click or not a click. And that's how, these short-term trades are. If it's working, hey, amazing, stick with it. If it's not, well, the next day you could get out. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It didn't go your way. And you'll have always room for the next one because you're not tied up your whole account, because you're not, in long dated options where you got to wait weeks and months for it to work out, and your money's not tied up long term. Speaking of Nike, some new highs here after hours, 82.70. Man, did anyone buy the weekly calls? The weekly calls are going to be up almost 1,000% tomorrow. I was going to buy the weekly calls too, but everyone was like, conservative, conservative. And I was like, yeah, I should be a little conservative because I don't want people to think I'm that crazy.
Oh, I did on accident.
Oh, you bought weeklies?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you dirty dog.
Too bad only $73 in it.
Well, that $73 is going to be $500 at least. Yeah, I should have did a double whammy, and I should have bought the September calls. Shoot, but yeah, good job. If you did that too. I mean, again, it doesn't. You don't have to be perfect. Really, what you really want is just any slice of the pie. You're never gonna. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. You just want to get on for the ride, and then hopefully the next day you get out and yay, hoorah, great job, and then boom, you're good. So it's fun, and it's the way I trade too. I trade very, very, very short dated with lots of positions because I don't know. I just like doing it that way, right? I just like the short dated options. I like knowing my fate. ASAP. Like I don't want to stick around and wait for the anxiety. I want to know, boom. My girlfriend would call me bougie. Hey Rebecca. Oh, Manny, so it's basically options under $1 or less, options 15 days or less expiration. So it'd be basically this week and next week expiration. It would be 50,000 to 100,000 are the filters of the premium. And it would be only clean orders. Now, no spreads, no tide, no mid-market, no crosses. Crosses between two parties are predetermined trade. So it's only showing brand new sweep opening orders where, there is a little bit of a difference. Volume can be less than open interest because we do want, and some of these stocks do trade the liquidity, and we saw some options that were penny wide, like DraftKings, Palantir, Nike, they were penny wide bid ask. So volume will be less than open interest on some of them, but pretty much besides that, 50 to 100K, 15 days or less, options under $1, and then clean directional orders bought on the ask and above the ask. Yeah, and I need to actually make a training for all that as well. So thank you for the question.
Yeah, again, guys, if you have any other questions, go ahead and ask us here. We still got, 350 people here. The chat is just booming. I love it. Guys, go to lancepolito.com/penny. Get signed up. Lock in that 1 year or 2 year. Upgrade to lifetime. Get 90 days free to the options pit, plus 90 days free to the scanner. Or call the phone number there, 904-404-8873. Talk to our sales team. We got multiple reps on the lines, getting you all signed up. Very exciting day. Not only did we get to trade with the new penny option scanner, but
finally
we got to get in on Nike, and exciting day for a lot of you guys. So congrats.
It's gonna be a more exciting morning tomorrow morning is what it's gonna do.
Hey, should you
a very exciting morning.
Bring the
and
champagne?
Pardon me?
I said, should you bring the champagne?
Maybe. Next week call should be marking at what? If the stock stays where it is right now, about $2.50. There'll probably be some juice on them, so hopefully closer to $3. Depends on. It really depends on if I implied vol is going to be jacked up in the morning, which I'm hoping it will be, because of the Bill Ackman Perishing Square news. But the weeklies were so cheap; those are going to have the biggest percentage gain for sure. basically you would take the 80 calls, the stock's at 82.55. So 82.55 minus 80 is 255. And then you calculate probably a little bit of juice on them because they're still 8 days before expiration. So since they're in the money options, there won't be too much, but maybe like 20, 30 cents of juice. So maybe 280 to $3, hopefully closer to 3. Oh, Danny, you're in the UK. I went to, if you know where, what is it called? What's the hotel in London? It's right next to, my mind just went blank. It's a fancy hotel in London. It's a chain. Well, there's a chain of them too. But I went to like a low-key cigar bar there. What is it called? The Edition. I stayed at the Edition in London and walked to a cigar bar, and they had like a back room, and it was really, really nice. They had vintage cigars. It was real cool. Is there performance based? So on the option pit, it is very, very quick and lots of trades. So if I had to keep an Excel spreadsheet with everything, it would be just a little too slow and everything. And quite frankly, I'm not a huge fan of that. So I can't give you like a performance number on that. I just don't have that data for you. If it was like a back tested thing or like a program with 10 years of history, sure. But this is not that. I mean, when I say this literally is brand new, I mean brand new after about 8 months of working, with the developers and the CBOE. So we tried to get it out a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't ready, and I wanted it to be, fully complete. I didn't want to do something that was half butt, to say the least. So that's why we waited and everything. And when we got the okay, there was not a lot of emails or anything. It was just straight in the afternoon. I got the message at Costco, and I was like, "I'll be back. Let's be ready for 3." So yeah, I've been playing around with it for a couple weeks, and basically just was waiting overnight for developers because they were in a different time zone to get the final updates and stuff like that. And we had a lot of people on our team working on it too. It's just some stuff was out of our control. Oh, thank you. Perfect timing. Yeah, really perfect timing in Nike. I mean, couldn't have planned it any better. Going live this afternoon, that's for sure. That is for sure. And some of y'all, the ones who have weeklies, I mean, you might have close to a 10x trade. I mean, that doesn't happen often. I just want to be clear. That does not happen often. So I just want to be fully transparent and say, got good timing, or I should say, the trader got good timing, and we were able to see it, on it, right? I wish I would have put 90 grand in. 90 grand into $1 million overnight. Think about that. That, depending on where they got in, that 90 grand may be near $1 million overnight. That's pretty wild. I need to start trading size. All right, let's get into a few more questions, Josiah. Then I gotta shut down. I gotta go to dinner with the girlfriend, or she's gonna be mad at me.
Where you guys
and
going?
watch and having to watch Love Island and Love is Blind UK and all the reality shows for tonight. Of course, after wrestling. Of course. Or before wrestling. Okay, enter Nike Weekly at 144, set target at 220. You'll probably blow blast the target, so just cancel, and if you can't get out of the morning, I would just get out of the morning. If you bought the 80 calls, right now they'll be marking, if the stock stays where it's at, 256. So the broker should automatically fill you at wherever the stock is in the morning, because Nike is very, very liquid. It trades tons of options and stuff like that. But if you want to do it on your own, you can. Yes, Edward. Edward, yes. Only for the penny option trades. Maybe a couple other ideas I have throughout the day, but really only the penny option scanner trades. Exactly. Oh yeah. Well, we can't base performance just on one trade from today. I just want to be full transparent here. But if I could, and I would, but I don't want to say, look, we've had one trade, it's up 1,000, 300%. I don't want to do that, but we can. Mark, that was just, it wasn't an option calculator. It was just a percentage change calculator. It was just a percentage change calculator from calculatorsoup.com. It was just a percentage change calculator, how to do that. No, there's no AI. It's all me. Daniel asks, is the option pit AI calling out trades? No, it's me. It's me. It's not. Oh, Lyft with a nice pop after hours. Hey, got some Lyft calls. Should be doing good. David Tepper, the Carolina Panther owners and hedge fund manager, bought 7.5 million shares of Lyft. David Tepper just bought last in quarter two 7.5 million shares of Lyft. So that's good. David Tepper, we got some Lyft calls today. Lyft up 40 cents after hours. So Lyft should be good too. David Tepper just bought 7.5 million shares. Oh, you have Lyft calls too? Good. They should have a nice gap up tomorrow. So 13F filings are going around, gang. So now's a great time to trade option flow. 13F filings are going around these next really couple weeks. Basically, 13F filings are when hedge funds have to disclose their stake in positions they took over the previous quarter. I think I saw Buffett with one of them. Let me see if I could find 13Fs here. I get a full list for y'all. Past 3 months of activist activity. I thought I saw Buffett. Buffett, 266 million in Alta, Siri, Berkshire increased their stake in Siri as well. Siri is up a little bit. Alta's up a little bit. Wow, holy crap! Alta's up 33 after hours. Jeez, Alta was rock bottom. So Buffett got some more Alta last quarter. Moving
hey, Lance,
the.
I have a question. How do you know? How do you know what orders to actually take action on, or like in your head, when people are using the penny option scanner?
I would say more anything repetition of seeing it. So like I know the China ADRs are not good sometimes. Palantir is usually good. It's a tech name. Banks are, bank usually never has news. So banks usually roll out. Intel's a chip. There could be lots of news in the chips usually. Walmart was earnings. JD again, China. XBEV, China. So it really comes from experience. Some names I've lost money in. Some names have been good to me. I would say that's really the main thing is, has the name worked out before? Do I have a good history? Have I lost money? Have I made money in it? And then other names like, PayPal, usually open a news. Exxon was going to move with energy. There's Nike. Square, open a news. So usually like tech names could be more news, more analyst stuff. Banks are a little bit more boring. If it's a commodity stock, obviously the underlying commodity will move. You have that. But really, I mean, I would really just say experience. The more you see it, the more you get comfortable and confident in.
Yeah,
I am the AI apparently. Yes.
that's why I would highly encourage everyone to upgrade to that lifetime for penny option scanner today, because you will get that 3 months free to the options pit Telegram, where Lance is actually using all of his experience, looking at the penny option scanner, and actually sending in their trades he's seeing that are very interesting to him, that he may be trading himself. That's a great hand holding experience, and highly recommend taking that lifetime for that.
Awesome. Yes, Rebecca, and thank you. It's good to see you
Nice.
as well. I just missed Josiah, I just missed a question and it scrolled with I didn't even know. Yes, there will be, everything gets recorded. Everything will be recorded. I'm not sure, Josiah, how this works because it was kind of a last minute thing.
We're gonna be pushing out the recording.
It's on YouTube too.
Right now.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, we'll have a recording and it will be on the YouTube, apparently. I've been watching lots of YouTube lately. Is it really on the YouTube? Let me see if I know how to go to the YouTube. Oh, it is. It is on the YouTube as well. So I think we do, well, I don't know if we're due tomorrow morning on YouTube. I'm not sure. But yeah, there'll be a recording, and then if anything, YouTube, you could go on there as well. Josiah, for Anthony, does he get the, I think so, right? Can you make sure Anthony's taken care of?
Let me check your account here.
He should be. If not, let's get him hooked up.
If you just locked in 2 years for that price, Anthony, that you provided, you would not. You need to upgrade to lifetime, and you would get that access.
Oh, if we can, yeah. Can we maybe call Anthony or hook him up?
Yeah,
Stockomania
for dirt cheap.
Dan says Stockomania is the best thing to happen to the stock market since the Great Depression. Oh God, that's the best one ever. Here, let me that's too funny. I can't stop. Is Stockomania a new offering? You might see Stockomania next week. You know, I bought the beers, the real American beers. Have y'all seen that? If you live in Florida, they're at Total Wine. Y'all have to try Hogan's new beer. It is.
Good?
It's basically PBR. But look, it's Hogan on it. Look at this.
Oh,
It's Hogan on the beer can. Is that not the greatest thing ever? And you get to win the Hulk Hogan experience. Hold on. Haggis, Yo Maniacs, Instagram or Facebook. I don't have a thing. Too funny. But yeah, it's the beer is PBR, but you know, it's not bad. But it was funny. Stockomania is a fictional character who's on the largest contract in FinBub history. And runs wild. I guess that's the best way to explain it. But he's an interesting character. He came out of retirement after many years with multiple hip surgeries, broken back. He went from 6'4" to 5'9.5", from 300 pounds to 210, from 24-inch arms to, I don't know what, 18, 17. But he's a big for trading. He's a baby face for now. But he does have he might turn heel for the NWO. Yes. And there's no more matches. He had to cut off his wrestling career and sell beer, apparently. All right, Josiah, let's wrap this up here in a couple minutos. Let's go over a couple more questions if we can get to it. Of course.
Yeah, Lance, I think you're good to bounce.
I just saw the message. Okay, well, gang, I'll see you all tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. I'll be on a little bit earlier. We'll close out Nike. Hopefully we get some other names to close out. Where's the Palantir? I'm surprised Cisco's not up, or Intel's not up with Cisco. A little shocked on that. And then the option pit, be on the lookout for the morning as well. We'll be posting throughout the day in there. And then we have another training on Monday. We got a very, very busy week. And I'll see everyone tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. You'll get email. It will be in the members area, the link as well. And then probably text and Telegram and all that jazz. And if you need anything, you can always call. And please don't hesitate to call 904-404-8873. If you need any hookup, just say you're on the webinar and the team, Caitlin, Chad, Katie, I think there's Chad 2.0, we'll get to you and try to get you everything situated as easy as pumpkin pie. All right, thanks again, everyone. See you all tomorrow at 9:30 a.m.
Thanks, Lance. Thanks, everyone. Again, go to lanceippolito.com/penny to get signed up. Lock in that 1 year, 2 year. I'd highly recommend upgrading to lifetime to get that 3 months free to the options pit, or call our phone team. They're sticking around a little past 5 p.m. Eastern to make this happen for you all so that you guys can get loaded up before tomorrow morning's open. So I'll stick around. I'll try to answer as many questions as I can here in the chat. Hey, Anthony, our team's going to call you about that situation. I've sent your information over to the team. And Donald, let's see here. Yep, so I'm going to keep this room open. I will try to answer as many questions as I can, as some of you are asking more. So hang tight. I will get to them, and have an awesome rest of your night.